Okay, so this is the first time I've done one of these motor mounts on these Hemis. Not too bad at all. It was a lot easier for me because I already got these cylinder heads off. Those cylinder heads and that exhaust manifold still in your way. Well, it's not impossible. You could do it from the bottom, but it would be a bitch, man. But really, all you got to do is take off those two bolts right there, right on top. Well, there's a heat shield over top of this. Take the two 10mm bolts out the heat shield first, and then you see all this. And let me show you my old. Here's my old motor mount on that side because I had a PO300, multiple misfire, so my engine was, you know, kind of shaky and jumping around, all that good stuff. So this thing's really dry rotted and collapsing, cracked right there. Just doesn't look good. So while I had all this apart, I figured I'd go ahead and swap that out. But this side still looks good. No dry rotting, no cracks. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to swap it out, but I'm probably not keeping this car, so I'm just gonna do the stuff that's necessary for right now. But once you take out these two bolts on top, you know, hook up your hoist and stuff to kind of take away most of the weight, pull up on the motor a little bit, makes it easier to get these bolts out once you take some of the weight off of the bolts and that mount. But then I got confused by looking at the new piece because it didn't show like this bottom flange thing. But don't get scared. You go down here to the bottom, and I believe it's two 18mm bolts, one right there, one right behind your tie rod. There's one right up there. You zip them out of there, and then once you got these bolts loosened right here, you can lift your motor up. Lift the motor up out your way a little bit. You just got to kind of lean it up probably about 5-6 inches. Then you take out, you can just wiggle this whole thing out. Wiggle the whole thing out. On the bottom of it, there's like a bracket with two 13mm bolts. You zip those two 13mm bolts out, and that little flange just falls off. And you put your new motor mount on that flange and do everything again. Just place it on in there. The hardest part is lowering and raising the motor to get these bolts to meet up with that with the threads on the motor. That's the hardest part, but it didn't take me but 15 minutes to get it all seated and start zipping it all together. Now it's all put back together. But like I said, it would probably be a bitch and a half to do if these heads weren't off. So I've never tried it, don't want to try it. And kudos to you if you have done it, because that sounds like a very, very pain in the ass job. But Hood Building Mechanics, like, subscribe. I'll come up with some more of these videos for you guys.